Yeah, I'll put my earphones in. And if both of you or all of you, three of you, if you want to speak, you're welcome to speak anytime you like. So, namaste. And I'm going to read the Avadhuta Gita today. Sorry, I'm just waiting for YouTube to start so I can pause it. Okay, now. So yes, so I didn't have the Avadhuta Gita for a while, because I gave it to my friend, and I went to visit my friend last night, and I said, "Did you read the Avadhuta Gita? Any of the Avadhuta Gita?" And she said, "Oh." She said, "I didn't like it. It didn't do anything." I said, "It's not supposed to do anything," and she said, "It's like as if she wanted it to have an effect on her, you know, and like I don't know, to make her enlightened or something." I don't know. It was very funny. Yeah. So have either all of you read the Avadhuta Gita before?
Yes, I did. I adore Avadhuta Gita.
Okay. And Soham, have you read the Avadhuta Gita?
Most of it.
Okay. And Niti?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Because this morning I didn't know if it was working. I was trying to talk really soft and nobody heard me.
Yeah. I think it's kind of one of those books, like no matter how many times you've read it, it's nice to hear it or read it again even.
Yeah.
And so I'm very happy to have my Avadhuta Gita back. I'm just going to read a little bit at the start from the foreword. Not all of it, but just a little part of it. Okay?
Okay.
So it says, Avadhuta means a liberated soul, one who has passed away from or shaken off all worldly attachments and cares, and has attained a spiritual state equivalent to the existence of God. Though Avadhuta naturally implies renunciation, it includes an additional and yet higher state, which is neither attachment nor detachment, but beyond both. An Avadhuta feels no need of observing any rules, either secular or religious. He seeks nothing, avoids nothing. He has neither knowledge nor ignorance, having realized that he is the infinite self. He lives in that vivid realization. To the Hindu mind, Dattatreya is a symbol of this realization. Whoever the unknown composer of the Avadhuta Gita may have been, he must himself have been a man of the highest spiritual perception. Okay, I'm not going to read any more of the instruction. I get a bit bored sometimes with instructions. Okay. Before we start, I don't really know what words to use, but I always feel like expressing my love and gratitude for our fathers, Muji and Ananta. And so that's some words. But I don't really know what words to say. But anyway, so yeah. Gratitude for Anantaji and Mujiji. So this is written like this, okay? I'm just going to show you. It's like Sanskrit, and then it's written in English, and then there's also some description sometimes of the words, but I'm not going to read them unless I feel like I want to. But I'm not going to read them all because I think
You can read You can read only Sanskrit. Only Sanskrit you understand, of course.
Yeah. And like I said to Sohan before as well, and I've often just taken this approach, is that like whenever I'm reading any of these texts, I don't make any effort to try to understand them. Or also, so that also goes, even if I understand it, I'm not going to make any effort to try to explain it. And it's kind of written in that way as well. Like the Avadhuta who wrote it, he's not making any effort to try to explain himself. And he's not really trying to teach anything either. He's just having these kind of spontaneous utterings coming from himself. And the words in this, and when you read them, they're not really like trying to have an effect, but they do kind of have the effect of bringing you into that state. Yeah, and you don't need to try to understand anything, but just allow the words to enter your heart. And if you don't understand anything, then just that's fine. You don't have to understand it. But that's not to say that you can't ask if you want to. Well, I might not have an answer. Okay. Through the grace of God alone, the desire for non-duality arises in wise men to save them from great fear. How shall I salute the formless being, indivisible, auspicious, and immutable, who fills all this with his self, and also fills the self with his self? The universe, composed of the 5 elements, is like water in a mirage. Oh, to whom shall I make obeisance, I who am one and taintless? All is verily the absolute self. Distinction and non-distinction do not exist. How can I say, it exists, it does not exist? I am filled with wonder. The essence and the whole of Vedanta is this knowledge, this supreme knowledge, that I am by nature the formless, all-pervasive self. There is no doubt that I am that God, who is the self of all, pure, indivisible, like the sky, naturally stainless. I indeed am immutable and infinite, and of the form of pure intelligence. I do not know how or in relation to whom joy and sorrow exist. I have no mental activity, good or bad. I have no bodily function, good or bad. I have no verbal action, good or bad. I am the nectar of knowledge, beyond the senses, pure. The mind indeed is of the form of space. The mind indeed is omnifaced. The mind is the past. The mind is all, but in reality there is no mind. I, the one only, am all this, beyond space and continuous. How can I see the self as visible or hidden? Thus you are one. Why then do you not understand that you are the unchangeable one, equally perceived in all? O mighty one, how can you, who are ever shining, unrestricted, think of day and night? Know the self always to be everywhere, one and unintercepted. I am the meditator and the highest object of meditation. Why do you divide the indivisible? You are not born, nor do you die. At no time do you have a body. The scripture declares in many different ways the well-known dictum, all is Brahman. You are he who is exterior and interior. You are the auspicious one, existing everywhere, at all times. Why are you running hither and thither, deluded like an unclean spirit? Union and separation exist in regard neither to you nor to me. There is no you, no me, nor is there this universe. All is verily the self alone. You do not belong to that which is composed of the five objects of sense, such as sound, nor does that belong to you. You indeed are the supreme reality. Why then do you suffer? For you there is no birth or death. For you there is no mind. For you there is no bondage or liberation, no good or evil. Why do you shed tears, my child? Neither you nor I have name and form. O mind, why do you wander about deluded like an unclean spirit? Behold the self indivisible. Be happy through renunciation of attachment. You verily are truth, devoid of change, motionless, one, of the nature of freedom. You have neither attachment nor aversion. Why do you suffer, seeking the objects of desires? All the scriptures say that the truth is without attributes, pure, immutable, bodiless, and existing equally everywhere. Know me to be that. There is not the least doubt about it. Know that which has form to be false, that which is formless to be eternal. Through the instruction of this truth, there is no longer rebirth into this world. Sages say that reality is one only and the same. And through renunciation of attachment, the mind, which is one and many, ceases to exist. If it is of the nature of the not-self, how can there be samadhi, superconscious realization? Thousand brackets, the description of samadhi. If it is of the nature of the self, how can there be samadhi? If it is both is and is not, how can there be samadhi? If all is one and of the nature of freedom, how can there be samadhi? You are pure homogeneous reality, disembodied, unborn, and immutable. Why do you think of yourself as, I know it here, or as, I do not know? I'm just going to read the note that it says here. It says, I know it here, etc. Our knowledge of ourself in this earthly state is incorrect. To maintain that we do not have any true knowledge of ourself here is also incorrect. I just wanted to read that bit because I like it.
May I say something?
Yes, please.
I just want to express my love for the Avadhuta Gita and all these Gitas, but especially Avadhuta Gita, because it's so resonating with my heart. It's here is felt. These words are totally directly. It's I feel it's absolute, speaking directly to myself. And it's so beautiful. From the very beginning, when you started to read, I just felt light coming, just like that. And I said, how come? I just sit here, you begin, and there's something happening to me. How come? But actually, these words, the energy, it's provoking direct experience. So I love to hear from Avadhuta Gita. Thank you.
Thank you. And these words are true for everyone because these words are spoken from the heart of the Avadhuta, which is your own heart. So, like, they're true for every single being. And I think that's why I really like this part where it says, to maintain that we do not have any true knowledge of ourselves here is also incorrect. Because I really don't believe that there's any being that really doesn't know. I know, like, that people say they don't know and things like that, but really, you can really only experience the truth, and it's only your mind that says otherwise. But really, we're always experiencing the truth, like, because there's only the truth. How could you experience anything? I don't know if that's true or not, but it feels true. I think that's true. Okay. And also, I feel like when we hear words that are true, there is a part of us that recognizes them as true. So, like in your case, Atma, you're probably very, like, I mean, you've seen yourself, but like in some cases, if someone is not interested in the truth at all and they're just living like a very normal life, and they're not interested in being free or truth or anything, I still feel that when someone hears the truth, there is like a resonance and they recognize it as truth also. Whether they've ever heard anything before or not. I feel like.
Yes, because these words are really so direct, simple, and how to say, they don't say, look, this, try this. They are speaking to you as the absolute itself, actually.
Yes.
They are just not even as a consciousness, but as the absolute. That's the beauty of these words.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Namaste, Pekka. Very glad that you can be here. Okay. By such sentences as that thou art, your own self is affirmed. Of that which is untrue and composed of the 5 elements, the Shruti says, not this, not this. As the self is filled by the self, that first self is written like a small s. You can't hear that when I'm reading it. It's like as the small self is filled by the big self. I don't know. You can understand what I'm talking about.
Just would like to say, I don't know if you, but here, when I look at the small window of Nitya, she seems totally illuminated, maybe.
Yes, yes, really. Full of light.
I can see her actually. Nitya is totally, completely illuminated by these words.
It's like something out of the Fantastic Four.
Totally.
Amazing.
As the self is filled by the self, so is all filled continuously by you. There is no meditator or meditation. Why does your mind meditate shamelessly? I love this bit as well. There's a little a note underneath. Okay, I'm going to share it with you. It says shamelessly. One should be ashamed to meditate because meditation presupposes a shameful forgetfulness of one's true divine nature. I think it's very funny because really we don't need to meditate. Like he's speaking from like the ultimate place of just himself.
Yes,
so of course you don't need to meditate because you don't need to reach anywhere. Yeah, I just think it's very funny. I do not know the Supreme. How shall I speak of him? I do not know the Supreme. How shall I worship him? If I am the Supreme One, who is the highest truth, who is homogeneous being, and like unto space, how then shall I speak of him and worship him? The principle of ego is not the truth, which is homogeneous, which is free from the cause of superimposition and distinctions of perceived and perceiver. How can the ego be that which is aware of itself? Do you all know what homogeneous means, by the way?
Yeah, I know what that means.
No. I had to look it up in the dictionary, that's why I'm asking. Because I didn't know
That means something very solid.
Maybe it could be described like that, but the way whatever, I'll tell you what this is. It means like all the same, everything is the same everywhere. They often use the word homogeneous in milk because they've like pasteurized it and taken anything bad out, so it's all the same. Anyway, I'll tell you what the dictionary says.
Okay.
Because I'm not very good at remembering.
You know, English is not my language, it's your language.
Yeah, but there's still lots of words I don't know. Okay, homogeneous says all of the same or similar kind of nature. Because they use the word homogeneous a lot, so it's good to know them. There is no substance whatever which is by nature unlimited. There is no substance whatever which is of the nature of reality. The very self is the supreme truth. There is neither injury nor non-injury in it. You are the homogeneous reality. You are pure, bodiless, birthless, and imperishable. Why then do you have any delusion about the self? Again, why am I myself deluded? When the pot is broken, the space within it is absorbed in the infinite space and becomes undifferentiated. When the mind becomes pure, I do not perceive any difference between the mind and the Supreme Being. There was a Muji video about that recently as well called, I think it was called Mind is the Self, or something like that. Yeah. There is no pot. There is no pot's interior space. Neither is there an individual soul, nor the form of an individual soul. Know the absolute Brahman, devoid of knowable and knower. Know me to be that self who is everything and everywhere at all times, who is eternal, steady, the all, the non-existent and the existent. Have no doubt. There are no Vedas, no worlds, no gods, no sacrifices. There is certainly no caste, no stage in life, no family, no birth. There is neither the path of smoke nor the path of light. There is only the highest truth, the homogeneous Brahman. If you are free of the pervaded and pervader, if you are one and fulfilled, how can you think of yourself as directly perceptible by the senses or beyond the range of the senses? Some seek non-duality, others duality. They do not know the truth, which is the same at all times and everywhere, which is devoid of both duality and non-duality. How can they describe the truth, which is beyond mind and words, which is devoid of white and other colours, of sound and other qualities? When all these appear to you as false, when the body and so on appear to you like space, then you know Brahman truly. Then, for you, there is no dual series. For dual series, it says, like description, such as I and thou, self and God, I and it, self and the world, and so on. Also, it means self and not self, and the series of their evolution. Yeah, so basically it just means there's not two. Even my natural self appears to me as non-distinct from the Supreme Self. It appears to be one and like space. How can there be meditator and meditation? What I do, what I eat, what I sacrifice, what I give, all this is not mine in the least. I am pure, unborn, undecaying. Know all this universe to be formless. Know all this universe to be without change. Know all this universe to be of purified body. Know all this universe to be of the nature of the Absolute. You are verily the truth. There is no doubt about it. Otherwise, what do I know? Why do you consider the self, which is perceptible to itself, as imperceptible? My child, how can there be illusion and non-illusion, shadow and lack of shadow? All this is one truth. All this is of the nature of space and without taint. I am free in the beginning, in the middle, and in the end. I am never bound. This is my sure knowledge, that I am naturally spotless and pure. The whole universe, beginning with the principle of cosmic intelligence, is not in the least manifest to me. All is indeed Brahman alone. How can there be any existence in caste or stage of life for me? I know that all, in every way, is the one indivisible I, which is self-sustained and full, while the five elements, beginning with ether, are empty. The self is neither eunuch, man, nor woman. It is neither idea nor imagination. How can you think the self to be full of joy or joyless? The self certainly does not become pure through the practice of six-limbed yoga. It certainly is not purified by the destruction of the mind. It certainly is not made pure by the instructions of the teacher. It is itself the truth. It is itself the illumined one. There is no body made up of five elements, nor is there anyone who is disembodied. All is verily the self alone. How can there be the three states and the fourth? I am not bound. I am not indeed liberated, and I am not different from Brahman. Neither doer nor enjoyer. I am devoid of the distinctions of the pervaded and the pervader. As water, when water has been poured into water, it has no distinctions. So Purusa and Prakriti appear non-different to me. Purusa is soul, and Prakriti is nature. Ordinarily considered to be opposite principles, conscious and unconscious, they are here recognized as identical in the highest spiritual experience. Would that be like the same as Shiva and Shakti? You know, the way they say like Shakti is the energy of that makes everything, and Shiva is like the self. That's a question for someone.
Yeah, you could probably say that. It sounds
Purusa,
like,
yeah,
or like
Purusa
form and
and
emptiness.
yeah, yeah.
I'm more familiar with the Buddhist terms than the Hindu terms.
Ah.
I, I get stuck like I look up all those Hindu terms. I don't know what they mean.
Yeah. Luckily, we don't really need to know anything. We don't even need to know
No,
any terms.
it's
So
great. I love that.
it's very good. It's a relief. If indeed you are never bound or liberated, how then can you think yourself with form or as formless? I know your supreme form to be directly perceivable, like the sky. I know your lower form to be as water in a mirage. I have neither teacher nor instruction, limiting adjunct nor activity. Know that I am by nature pure, bodiless, like the sky. You are pure. You are without a body. Your mind is not higher than the highest. You need not be ashamed to say, I am the self, the supreme truth. It's amazing, isn't it? I actually remember a time in my life where, like, you know, like when we're interested in all these things like Advaita and related things like this. But there was a time here where I didn't want to even like post on Facebook, you know, like so I definitely wouldn't post like I am the self, I am the formless one or something like this. I definitely wouldn't post, but I just wouldn't post anything because I don't know, like I suppose it was just like there was still judgment in the back of my mind or something that like I don't know exactly what it was, but I just remembered that I had to kind of overcome um I suppose just being myself and being free and um just allowing all expressions and anything that happens. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it makes sense when I talk. Because sometimes I'm talking and I don't know what I'm talking about. I like that your microphone is on, Ashna, because I like hearing your little gig. It's nice. Thank you.
But you know what? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good. Okay, just want to say that in one level, whatever we say, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But in the other level, highest, does not make, whatever we say does not make sense.
Yes.
So it does. Relax.
It's true, yeah.
I like when Father says in satsang, I don't know exactly what words he says, but something along the lines of no words that are spoken are true.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. But it's very funny, yeah, because you go, no words that are spoken are true, and then you say, yes, that's true. You know, like as if those words were true.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's the nature of the words. We have to speak, no?
Yeah. The only thing that words are really good for is to point to yourself. That's the only like true good use of words, as far as I can see. And then sometimes words can make you laugh as well, and laughing is good as well.
What they always, all the Buddhist teachers always say, don't get caught up in the words.
Yeah.
You know, you just don't believe, don't take them as truth.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta say something.
You know why? Because
I was just gonna say there's great about these Zen monks in China live up on these mountains, you know, and they go to find this one guy that all the hermit monks up there say is like really close, like to, you know, the absolute, and they go in and say through this interpreter, you know, say something about Zen, and they say it several times, and finally the monk says there's nothing to say. And he said that like 3 times before he finally started talking, and then he wouldn't shut up. It's just like, it's true, you know, there's nothing to say.
Yeah. Did you want to say something, Afra?
I wanted to say that I remember when I was younger, I was very much in love with words, poetry and everything else. I loved. I mean, in those period, the words. I mean, words really can take your attention, and you can give so much importance, not really to meaning of the words, but to words itself. Sometimes they can. I lived this period in my life when words were really so beautiful. They had their beauty, especially these words also. You can be attached also to them if you are attached to words, because they have their beauty, and with this beauty they bring you to some kind of beautiful feeling inside, sweetness, everything. But they're only words, even so beautiful, even poetry. They are words. And from that point of view, I wanted to say this about that, because now I don't have this attachment to the beauty of the words, you know, because they can have their beauty.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah, and we can still, even though we can say no words are true, it doesn't mean that we can't appreciate the beauty of the words.
Yeah.
And we can't enjoy them, you know, because of course we can. And we're reading the Avadhuta Gita now, and I'm enjoying it very much.
It's beautiful.
So am I. So am I.
Read away.
Why are you weeping, O my? Be the self by means of the self. Drink, my child, the supreme nectar of non-duality, transcending all divisions. There is neither knowledge nor ignorance, nor knowledge combined with ignorance. He who has always such knowledge is himself knowledge. It is never otherwise. There is no need of knowledge, reasoning, time, space, instruction from a teacher, or attainment of samadhi. I am naturally the perfect consciousness, the real like the sky, spontaneous and steady. I was not born, nor have I death. I have no action, good or evil. I am Brahman, stainless, without qualities. How can there be bondage or liberation for me? If God pervades all, if God is immovable, full, undivided, then I see no division. How can he have exterior or interior? The whole universe shines undivided and unbroken. Oh, the Maya, the great delusion, the imagination of duality and non-duality. Always not this, to both the formless and the formed. Only the Absolute exists, transcending difference and non-difference. You have no mother, no father, no wife, no son, no relative, no friend. You have no likes or dislikes. Why is this anguish in your mind? O mind, for you there is no day or night, rising or setting. How can the wise imagine an embodied state for the bodiless? The self is neither divided nor undivided, nor has it sadness, happiness, and the like, nor is it all or less than all. Know the self to be immutable. I am not the doer or enjoyer. Work have I done now or formerly. I have no body, nor am I bodiless. How can I have or not have a sense of minus? I have no fault such as passion and the like, nor have I any sorrow arising from the body. Know me to be the one self, vast and like the sky. Friend mind, of what use is much vain talk? Friend mind, all this is mere conjecture. I have told you that which is the essence. You indeed are the truth, like the sky. In whatever place yogis die, in whatever state, there they dissolve, as the space of a jar dissolves into the sky. Giving up the body in a holy place or in the house of a Khandala. Khandala, it says, is one belonging to the lowest stratum, considered unclean and impure in Hindu society. Giving up the body in a holy place or in the house of a Khandala, The yogi, even if he has lost consciousness, becomes identified with the Absolute as soon as he is free of the body. The yogis consider duty in life, pursuit of wealth, enjoyment of love, liberation, and everything movable or immovable, such as man and so on, to be a mirage. This is my certain perception. I neither perform nor enjoy past action, future action, or present action. The Avadhuta, alone, pure in evenness of feeling, abides happy in an empty dwelling place. Having renounced all, he moves about naked. He perceives the Absolute, the All, within himself. Where there are neither the three states of consciousness nor the fourth, there one attains the Absolute in the self. How is it possible to be bound or free where there is neither virtue nor vice? The Avadhuta never knows any mantra in Vedic meter nor any tantra. This is the supreme utterance of the Avadhuta, purified by meditation and merged in the sameness of infinite being. There exists neither complete void nor voidlessness, neither truth nor untruth. The Avadhuta, having realized the truths of the scriptures, has uttered this spontaneously from his own nature. That's the end of chapter 1. I'm just going to have a little break for a second.
What'd you say, Emma? I mean, Amba?
We're all the same. Amba, Adma.
Oh,
So, what did I say?
Starts with an A and it's 4 letters.
Yeah. I said that I'm just going to have a little break and finish reading chapter 1. And I'm just going to have a little break.
We come back later.
Where are you going to go? Where can you go?
I have to go, that place.
I like hearing you laugh and laugh. It's very funny.
That's what I have to get is a microphone head thing, a mobile phone one like that. That's what I need. Then it would solve the problem of having to talk so softly in the morning.
But you know what's the problem here with this? Maybe it's the speed of internet. It's that when I'm here on this channel, Advaita channel, maybe because there are not so many people on Hangout also watching outside, I have no problem with video. I see Amba, I see everybody like normal. But in other, with Father, in satsang, only in the beginning, before Father comes, I see people there moving. The moment he comes, everything stops, and my video goes.
Really?
And all the time I can see nobody. That's my problem. I don't understand what's the problem, because in this channel everything is functioning perfectly.
Wow. It's only when he's on.
Yeah, he's provoking so many troubles here, I think. I don't know. But maybe because there are so many people in Hangout, I don't know what's the problem. For sure, it could be the speed of internet speed. But if I buy other one, it's almost double price for a little bit more speed.
It shouldn't be the internet speed, because if you're able to be here with us now, then it shouldn't really make a difference. But
yeah, therefore I don't understand.
I don't either. That's just really weird.
So, and every time when I was in Hangout, also having exposing something, speaking, just know that I have never seen Father. I just speak like I speak to myself. I hear his voice, but I speak to myself actually.
Well, that sounds good because he is yourself.
Yeah, okay, that's true. But sometimes it could be nice to see his eyes.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I'm sure someone will be able to help you.
Well, great. Sorry, I'm yelling cat. Tearing the place up.
Bhagavati is helping you, Atma, isn't she?
Oh, she said she sent me some links about settings on Hangout, but as I saw also she saw that there is no there are settings for telephone, phone, Android, but not that I don't know how to pronounce in English. That bandwidth, I don't know, bandwidth,
Oh,
blah blah
bandwidth.
blah.
Yeah.
that. Because you see, I pronounce good, but I have never heard somebody pronouncing the word, just written, and I said blah blah blah. What is this?
Yeah. Even me, I never used that word before. Bandwidth. There, I said
Bandwidth, yeah,
it.
bandwidth.
I never
means
used that
what?
word. Anyway,
yeah. So no settings, no settings for that for phone on internet.
For what? Settings for what?
For that.
Okay,
for that bandwidth.
I'm going to read the
we're
Avadhuta
totally
Gita
off
again
the
now.
subject, are we? Sorry.
I'm reading the Avadhuta Gita again now, okay?
Okay. Sorry.
This is turning into the Sangha Chai shop. Okay. Do you want to hear more? Maybe you don't want to hear more. It's kind of related. Let's see how long this stuff is. Okay, I'll read. Of the teacher, even if he be young, illiterate, or addicted to the enjoyment of sense objects, even if he be a servant or a householder, none of these should be considered. Does anyone shun a gem fallen in an impure place? In such a case, one should not consider even the quality of scholarship. A worthy person should recognize only the essence. Does not a boat, though devoid of beauty and vermilion paint, nevertheless ferry passengers? The unmoving one, who without effort possesses all that is movable and immovable, is consciousness, naturally calm like the sky. How can he, the one and all-pervading, who moves effortlessly all that is movable and immovable, be differentiated? To me he is non-dual. I am verily supreme, since I am the Absolute, more essential than all essences, since I am free from birth and death, calm and undifferentiated. Thus I, free from all components, am worshipped by the gods. But being full and perfect, I do not recognize any distinctions such as gods and the like. Ignorance does not create any doubt. What shall I do, being endowed with modifications of the mind? They arise and dissolve like bubbles in water. Thus am I ever pervading all existence, beginning with cosmic intelligence, pervading soft, hard, sweet and pungent substances. As pungency, coldness or softness is non-different from water, so prakriti, nature, is non-different from purusha, spirit, or the absolute. Thus it appears to me. The Lord of the universe is devoid of all names. He is subtler than the subtlest, supreme. He is spotless, beyond the senses, mind, and intellect. Where there is such a natural being, how can there be I? How can there be even you? How can there be the world? That which has been described as being like ether is indeed like ether. That is consciousness, blameless, omniscient, and perfect. It does not move about on the earth or dwell in fire. It is not blown by the wind or covered by water. Space is pervaded by it, but it is not pervaded by anything. It is existing within and without. It is undivided and continuous. One should successively take recourse to the objects of concentration as mentioned by the yogis in accordance with their subtlety, invisibility, and attributelessness. When, through constant practice, one's concentration becomes objectless, then, being divested of merits and demerits, one attains the state of complete dissolution in the Absolute, through the dissolution of the object of concentration, but not before then. That which has form is visible to the eye, while the formless is perceived mentally. That, the self, being beyond existence and non-existence, is called intermediate. Then it says intermediate, neither material nor mental, i.e. beyond both. The external existence is the universe. The inner existence is called prakriti. One should try to know that which is more interior than the inner existence, that which is like water within the kernel of the coconut. Illusory knowledge relates to what is outside, correct knowledge to what is inside. Try to know that which is more interior than the inside, that which is like water within the kernel of the coconut. There is only one very clear moon on the full moon night. One should perceive that, the self, like the moon. Seeing duality is perversion. It is indeed in this way that intelligence becomes divided and ceases to be all-comprehending. A giver attains to wisdom and is sung with millions of names. Whoever, whether he be ignorant or learned, attains to the full awareness of truth through the grace of a teacher's wisdom, becomes detached from the ocean of worldliness. He who is free from attachment and hatred, devoted to the good of all beings, fixed in knowledge and steady, shall attain to the supreme state. As the space within a pot dissolves in the universal space when the pot is broken, so a yogi, in the absence of the body, dissolves into the supreme self, which is his true being. It has been said that the destiny of those devoted to action is the same as their thought at the end, but it has not been said that the destiny of those established in yoga is the same as their thought at the end. End meaning the dying moment. One may express the destiny of those devoted to action with the organ of speech, but the destiny of the yogis can never be expressed because it is transcendental. Knowing this, one never says that the yogis have any particular path. For them it is the giving up of all duality. The supreme attainment comes of itself. The yogi, having died anywhere, in a holy place or in the house of an untouchable, does not see the mother's womb again. He is dissolved in the supreme Brahman. He who has seen his true self, which is innate, unborn, and incomprehensible, does not, if anything desired happens to him, become tainted. Being free from taint, he never performs any action. The man of self-restraint, or the ascetic, therefore is never bound. He attains to the Supreme Self, who is eternal, pure, fearless, formless, and supportless, who is without body, without desire, beyond the pairs of opposites, free from illusion, and of undiminished power. He attains to the Supreme Eternal Self, in whom exists no Veda, no initiation, no tonsure, no teacher, no disciple, no perfection of symbolic figures, no hand posture, or anything else. As Ananta says, he says something like, not even a blade of grass will remain. That reminds me of that. We need to think of something even smaller than a blade of grass. I don't know. Grain of sand. Smallest thing. Not even the smallest thing. He attains to the Supreme Eternal Self, in whom is neither Sambhavi nor Shakti, nor Anavi initiation, neither a sphere nor an image, nor a foot, nor anything else, neither beginning nor ending, nor a jar, etc. He attains to the Supreme Eternal Self, from whose essence the universe of movable and immovable objects is born, in whom it rests, and into whom it dissolves, even as foam and bubbles are born of the transformation of water. He attains to the Supreme Eternal Self, in whom is no closing of nostril, nor gazing, nor posture, and in whom is neither knowledge nor ignorance, nor any nerve current. He attains to the Supreme Eternal Self, who is devoid of manifoldness, oneness, many, and oneness, and otherness, who is devoid of minuteness, length, largeness, and nothingness, who is devoid of knowledge, knowableness, and sameness. He attains the Supreme Eternal Self, whether he has perfect self-control or not, whether he has withdrawn his senses well or not, whether he has gone beyond activity or is active. He attains the Supreme Eternal Self, who is not mind, intelligence, body, senses, or egoism, who is neither the subtle elements, nor the five gross elements, nor of the nature of space. When injunctions cease, and the yogi attains to the Supreme Self, his mind being void of differentiations, he has neither purity nor impurity. His contemplation is without distinguishing attributes, and even what is usually prohibited is permissible to him. Where mind and speech can utter nothing, how can there be instruction by a teacher? To the teacher, ever united with Brahman, who has said these words, the homogeneous truth shines out. So that's all. I finished the second chapter.
Thanks
I'm not
for
gonna
reading.
read it. Thank you. It's very beautiful. I'm really grateful for the Advaita channel, because Well, first of all, it's just like a beautiful thing for everyone, you know, like, and for it to be there like so often with people reading like words of beautiful masters. But also just for myself because I wouldn't really read the Avadhuta Gita, or I wouldn't probably read anything at all, only for the fact that I'm reading it to you. Like I might pick it up and read like one part or something, but I definitely wouldn't read that much. But actually, when I read it, I really enjoy reading it. And so I'm grateful to all of you for being here and for the Advaita channel and for getting me to read it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Always a pleasure, Amba.
Huh?
It's always a pleasure.
Thank you. And most of all, though, like of course, I love the words of the Avadhuta Gita, and I love the words of all our masters. But I really just like being here, mostly with all of you. Like I could just sit here and just look at you or something.
Yes, it feels like the most important is to be here. Then whatever we share, and through the words of the masters is beautiful. But the very togetherness is that what is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like satsang.
Yeah.
Just like satsang.
Hello, Nitya.
Hello.
We can see you now, Nitya. You were really glowing earlier. So bright.
Would anyone like to share anything before we finish? Did you hear me?
Yes, yes, but I have shared. I'm waiting for others.
Here we go. Nitya's still laughing since yesterday.
You're laughing. Make my face hurt.
I'm gonna sing you a song.
Yes.
Cool.
I learned a new song. Hold on, I have to remember it. Yeah. Okay. Actually, it's kind of like a call and response song. So if you want to, I sing and then you can sing after me if you want. Okay, so yeah.
Can't really.
You mean you first sing, then we repeat?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we'll see how it happens.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. This is like it's a space for experimental. Okay. Govinda Jai Jai Gopala Jai Jai Govinda Jai Jai Gopala Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai.
But really, it doesn't work.
Jai Gopala Jai Jai Govinda Jai Jai Gopala Radha Hari Govinda Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai Govinda Jai Jai Gopala Jai Jai Govinda Jai Jai Gopala Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai. Okay, hold on. I'll sing it once, okay? And then I'll stop and let you sing. Whoever wants to sing.
Okay.
Who wants to sing? I'll leave space for you to sing it.
Atma will sing.
Okay, Atma, okay.
No, I want maybe all to sing, not only me.
No, only you.
Right now.
Okay, only me now, okay.
Because only one camera, only one, it's only going to work for one. Okay.
Yeah, it does work.
I have to prepare.
I'll sing and then you just copy what I sing, okay? So you know how it's going to go now. Namaste, Dan has joined us. I don't know who it is. Okay. Govinda Jai Jai Gopala Jai Jai
Govinda Jai Jai Gopala Jai Jai
Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai
Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai
Govinda Jai Jai Gopala Jai Jai
Govinda Jai Jai Gopala Jai Jai
Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai
Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai
Govinda Jai Jai Gopala Jai Jai
Govinda Jai Jai Gopala Jai Jai
Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai
Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai
Govinda Jai Jai Gopala Jai Jai
Govinda Jai Jai Gopala Jai
Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai
Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai
Jai!
Anantaji ki Jai
Jai Jai
Jai Ganga ki Jai
Jai Oh, but so beautiful.
It was very good. Thank you.
Thank you. I hope next time Pekka will sing, because he does not even speak, but he will sing, I'm sure.
He has to be quiet. He says he's in a quiet place.
Yes, but quiet 100 years can't be like this. Hopefully.
I'm going to stop the broadcast now, okay?
Okay.
So, thank you. But we can still be there.
You mean alive? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank